reports had surfaced that he had not shown up to practices, and that Nico had ultimately opened up negotiations in terms of what it was going to cost for him to play for Tennessee.
And that's false.
Okay,
they're lying. Tennessee's lying, and they probably like, damn, hope nobody comes up and disputes this.
Okay.
But they're lying.
All right.
And I know this is fact, not as
well, we know you know
speculation.
him. We know you know him, know the family or whatever. So go ahead, let us know.
My thing is this, right? So ask Tennessee, when's the last time they spoke to anybody on Nico's side? Well, I'll answer that for you. January. So what are y'all negotiating? When was the negotiations taking place? When the last time y'all spoke to anybody on his side, it was in January. And here we are in April. So your negotiations starting in January, there's been no more communication since then? Like, come on. And so is the reason about money, or is the reason about the system that you have offensively? You can't say that, huh, Josh Heupel? You don't want to talk about your offensive system and what you told him and what you were going to do, and you tried to call his bluff. I just don't like how they want to put these kids and paint them in a bad light. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And if you're not going to do it, just be up front so everybody can make a decision that is best for them. But when the player makes a decision that is best for him, now you want to lie and put out false narratives about the reason.
So you're saying it's about the offensive scheme. It's not about the money.
He going to get the money regardless. Whether he stayed at Tennessee or he hits the portal, he getting a lot of money regardless.
But the reports, if I'm just giving you the things to feed back off of or to respond to, the reports is that he was negotiating what that money would be at Tennessee, which in the NIL era, in the NIL space, sometimes that is something that takes place and at these different schools with the different players. I mean, we've seen that with the other who were the kids that played for, Florida State and played for.
I mean, you look at every sport, women's basketball, men's football.
There's negotiations going on.
That's what it is. And it's a great – LeVar, I love it because for the longest, the players were taken advantage of under this BS amateurism. We're taken advantage of. Imagine how much money Penn State in NCAA owes LeVar Arrington Sr. Imagine how much money you would have made that you never made because of quote-unquote amateurism. And so now that the players can get money, you got these bogus coaches. Oh, man, we need to get back to how it was. Why? So you can make $15 million on the backs of these kids? Really? You don't want the kid to make you making all this money because of the kids? Because you tell me a great coach that's going to go to a average school and win big. You tell me. You need good players to win. And so how can you make
Coach of Nebraska, Matt Rule, my former teammate, he came out and said, it's going to cost you anywhere from, what did he say, 1.5 to 2? What? He said some crazy-ass figure in terms of what it'll cost you to get a quarterback, a type of quarterback that can change your program
Carson
in
Beck
the portal.
Got $4 million from the University of Miami. Carson Beck got $4 million. Now, let's get back to the topic. I'm sorry, LeVar.
It could be more.
Now,
actually, I was sitting with the
did Nico probably see what was going on in the NIL world and said, I probably should get a little more? I'm sure that happened. I haven't been told that, but I'm sure that happened. That's normal.
But the lie you're saying is that they've told him in real kind of confidence that we're going to make this offense to fit your skill set. And that's not what they're planning on doing, and that's where the story begins, and that's where the narrative should be, not on the money.
Yes. Look at Tennessee's offense. Every team has pro-style concepts. Every concepts, okay. The outside receiver runs a dagger, 18-yard dagger. Number 2 receiver run a sit route. Number 3 will run through the seam to clear it out. Everybody has those concepts. Concepts are the same. They're called differently, different words or numbers, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. But when you look at Tennessee, they stack their receivers out wide. They'll run seams, they'll run stops, they'll run just different concepts. Concepts are fun. How often do you see those concepts in the National Football League that the Tennessee Volunteers run on offense? Or their formations? How many times do you see that in the league? I don't see it. I don't see it.
It doesn't look as sophisticated, is what I'll say.
I don't see it.
But he was cooking. He was cooking early in the season.
They led him to they went to the college football playoff, and it's not a bad thing. Josh Heupel has to do what's best for himself and the University of Tennessee, not one player. I get it. But when you tell a player, okay, we'll look to add some wrinkles and change some things, I'm not going to completely change everything, but I'm going to add some things for you for the pro style to prepare you for the National Football League, because former Tennessee players have told him, like, bro, what we're doing, it ain't preparing us. This is coming from players that played at Tennessee. Mm-hmm. What we're doing at Tennessee, it ain't preparing us. So he wanted to be prepared for the National Football League. And then when you tell him, okay, yes, we are going to change some things, and then you don't do it, you're calling his bluff. You know why you're calling his bluff? Because it's the spring. What quarterback is going to transfer this late? Now you got to be a leader of the team. You got to learn the offense. That's hard. That's not an easy thing to do. Mm-hmm. So they called his bluff. Okay, now I'm going to answer. They didn't think he was going to answer. And anybody that knows Nico, this ain't something he want to do. Man, Nico is a humble kid, man. Extremely humble, real chill, real reserved. Treat everybody with respect and treats them the right way. So just be honest, Tennessee. That's all I'm saying, is be honest. Don't go out here lying and throwing out these false narratives. Would he have wanted more money? Who wouldn't? What coach that wins big don't want a better contract? Have you ever seen a coach that win big and they didn't get an extension?
So that's not necessarily a lie. I just want to make sure, for the sake of for you and for
what I'm saying is,
it's not that it's a lie. It's just that they didn't tell the whole truth. They didn't tell the entire story.
100%.
I look at it like this: if I'm in this day and age right now, and that's something that my team said that we need to do, and for certain, if you're not putting me in a position to make the type of plays that I feel can take my stock up to a whole nother level. I mean, this kid was up for the Heisman during the course of this past football season. So he was playing at a high level. And so to me, if you're looking at it from the standpoint of compensation as well as, giving me the proper respect or the proper approach to making sure I can have the type of season that is going to lend to us winning games and me having a successful season, I feel like that is prudent information that should be added to it. But with that being said, TJ, I still will say this is a very, very interesting moment in college football. And while we'll take a break, because I think we should discuss the idea of this is we talked about it from a personal perspective, personal standpoint. Obviously, Nico's from Long Beach, so he's from here, and you have a relationship with him and his family. But I want to talk about what this represents in terms of where college football is going to, where college athletics is going.
A great place.
Okay, well, we're going to discuss that, because to me, this could go a lot of different directions now that you have what took place in terms of a coach saying we're going to move on without the star quarterback, who is a freshman. He's a freshman.
Hey, are they moving on without him, or he forced them to do that? And watch this fallout happen in Tennessee.